Yo, 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 what's good, everyone? It's your boy GD, the sports actor, and we're going to get right into it. So, post-game for the New York Knicks versus the Utah Jazz. New York Knicks win, as predicted, 134 to 117. But, I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't nervous for part of this game because I don't know what exactly was going on in the first quarter, but by the end of that quarter, it was 41 to 26 Jazz. And this is a problem that seems to be reoccurring when it comes to the New York Knicks. The slow starts, the playing from behind. We were down at 19 at one point. And I know the Knicks are a comeback team. I don't know if you watched them a lot last season, but the New York Knicks proved time and time again that it doesn't matter if they were down by 20, if they were down by 15, if they're down by 8. If you go into that fourth quarter and you give the New York Knicks a bit of light, if you let them see that there is hope at the end of that tunnel, they're going to take advantage. That's what I love about this team, the grit, the resilience, the ability to come back and rally yourself to get the dub. But it's the Utah Jazz, okay? You went out there against the Utah Jazz and you let the Utah Jazz look like they were a playoff contender. You had, Sensabaugh, 29 points. Ace Bailey, 21 points. Keontae George, 14 points. Jaren Jackson Jr. wasn't even playing. He was just on the sideline doing lighted up emotes all day. That's all he was doing. He was just emoting just every time someone made a shot, every time somebody was cooking, especially Sensabaugh. Filipowski, 15 points. The Utah Jazz did come to play, but in the end, the New York Knicks, they played to the last whistle. They played until the game was over, and 4 Knicks were the big contributors to this win. OG Anunoby, 22 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 21 points. Jalen Brunson, 28 points, and Jordan Clarkson, 27 points. I really do think Jordan Clarkson was probably the player of the game, in my opinion. He really gave us a spark. Him being a former player of the Utah Jazz, the players seemed to welcome him back very strongly. So he seemed to have left on good terms when it came to the fan base. And even his teammates had a lot of great things to say about him before the game had started in the pregame interviews. But I will say Jordan Clarkson showed out, and he looked good. Definitely shaky to start. Was missing. Was very spotty in a lot of positions. Was trying to play make as well as be a good team player and assist. So was trying to figure out his role and how he was gelling. But we had to rely on him and get him going and get him sparked up, and that he did. He definitely came with an avalanche of some good shooting. 10 for 15 from the field, 3 for 5 from the 3-point, and so he was a plus. I think he was a plus 19 when he was on the floor for us, and so he really contributed. Awesome to see Jordan Clarkson turn up and get some minutes, because as we continue to make this stride into the playoffs, we're going to need some of these guys. As you can tell, Mikal Bridges, I want to get to him. And no, we're just going to jump right into him. Mikal Bridges, 5 points. Now, I don't know what's going on with Mikal Bridges. I know last year we gave him, I believe, ample amount of time to figure out the new shot that he was bringing in into the season, and that fadeaway, shot with, shot is pretty high from where he extends behind his head, and it seems as if he's kind of mastered the shot down now, and I think that that shot specifically and the way that he shoots is going to be utilized and going to be important, especially for big stretches, or if we need someone who might be a little bit taller. Brunson's getting double teamed, you can leak it out to someone like a Mikal Bridges who might be left open, and he has potential to drop that shot and make some big plays in the playoffs. But his shooting as of late has been horrible. It's been horrible. And there's a big question mark on Mikal Bridges because it's not even about the picks anymore. I think Mikal Bridges for his availability, I think Bridges for his defense, I think Bridges has proven to be, to me, worth the 5 picks. It's about what these guys are also getting paid, the bag that they're getting paid. You're getting paid that bag because it's an expectation that the results that are going to come out of you are going to be big time. You go into the Lakers game, you have 0 points. You go to the Clippers game, I believe you had 5 or 6 points in that game. I'd have to look back. And then now you go into this game and you finish off with 5 points, 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 5 from the 3. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, especially in March. This is when you should be turning up. Karl-Anthony Towns seems to be finding his groove. He's doing quite well. Carl? Jalen Brunson is in a slight slump currently right now. But hey, Jalen Brunson always is ready to bring his A game when it matters. So Jalen, you're okay. Mohamed Diawara, rookie, really showing us some great things. Super, super excited and happy to have you on the squad because I know you're going to make some playoff contribution. OG, just a dog on both ends of the floor. And to me, in my personal opinion, you do want it to be a 1-2 punch between Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. But I really do think that OG Anunoby is one of the most underrated basketball players in the NBA. 22 points, 7 for 10 from the field, 3 for 5 from the 3-point. I really do think that OG brings a lot of other things, steals, blocks, 2 steals, 1 block, had an assist. And as I said before in multiple videos, OG Anunoby, besides Jalen Brunson, to me, is probably the only other person that can create his own shot. Take it to the basket, shoot it from the outside. The dribbling is questionable, I will say that at times, but for the most part, when he's on solid footing and he's pump faking, he's working a player one-on-one, OG Anunoby's going to beat you. He's probably going to drive it and take it straight to the rack and dunk. He'd rather that before he even shoots, but he's a good shooter as well. So, everybody seems to be, doing their thing. Shamet was a little bit quiet, 7 points, 3 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from the 3-point. But he had 4 assists, 3 rebounds, so he was present. Everybody else seems to be showing up, but Mikal Bridges really is a concern. He was hesitant out there, and he was just not shooting well at all. And so the guys almost lost this game, but thankfully, there's halftime where you can go collect yourself and remember who you are. And I hope that's what the speech was when they went to the locker room. But other than that, I think that the New York Knicks, as I had mentioned in the pregame episode, I think that the New York Knicks are just kind of tired. I think that the I wouldn't say that things have gotten boring. As I said before, Boston is 43-22, just a game or two ahead. You have Toronto or Cleveland, I believe, who is behind us. And they're, I believe, 40-41. I don't know if Cleveland won their last game, but Cleveland isn't too far back. So you could be playing for standings, but what if the Knicks just don't care? Because that's the way that they seem to be going about this. I don't know if the New York Knicks care about the standings. I mean, we the fans would love to see certain matchups. Coaches, I'd like to think that they also would like to see certain matchups. But when it comes to the New York Knicks, they aren't playing as if the standings matter. And maybe they don't at the end of the day. Whoever my comp is, that's going to be my comp. And I'm going to work to destroy my competition. That's the mindset that I know this team has. And that's all I'm concerned about. So we're in the playoffs. The farthest I believe, we'd actually go down would possibly be, I think the farthest we'd possibly go down would maybe be third or fourth. I'd like to get that second spot, but that's going to come with winning more games and continuing this West Coast trek. It didn't look great that we lost against the Lakers and the Clippers. We just played the Jazz. Oh, and it looks like we're playing the Pacers next in the schedule. And after the Pacers, I don't think we're done with the West Coast. Let me double check. A lot of basketball. Okay, so we have Indiana, Golden State, Indiana again. And the schedule becomes a lot easier. It looks like the hardest game, we face Oklahoma, Houston, Boston, and Charlotte, maybe, if you want to throw them in there. Those would probably be the most, I wouldn't say hardest, but probably the most challenging. The rest of these guys, New Orleans, Wizards, Atlanta, Chicago, Memphis, not worried about them at all. So the New York Knicks are looking good. We're looking good for the end of the end of the season, and we can really make a push for that second spot if we really, put a little pedal to the metal and not lose games that we're not supposed to lose. But a win is a win. I'm going to take the dub. As I said before, I expected them to win this game, and I wanted them to win this game in a dominant fashion. I wish that they had done more of the scoring that they had done in the fourth quarter and the first, but can't always pick and choose, You got to take what's given. So super excited. The Knicks are going to continue to trek. Next game, as I had mentioned, will be against the Indiana Pacers on Friday the 13th. And the Indiana Pacers, man, we got something coming for them. After that loss that we had against them, which was so unnatural, we got something coming for the Pacers. We definitely have to slap them around for these last two meetings that we have with them. This next game, please, just beat on them. Beat on them bad. And then make the dub out to Reggie. Yeah, Reggie Miller. Make the dub out to Reggie, because he's been quite annoying when it comes to commentary during Knick games, but he'll probably be there. Super excited though. Seasons continue to trek through. A lot of good basketball still to play. The East is looking crazy. We don't know who's going to take the East. To be honest, the New York Knicks, in my opinion, are going to be the team to make it to the finals. But there are a lot of challengers just waiting for this playoffs to start. And then when it comes to the West, I think the West is pretty much solidified with a few good teams. Two, to be honest, the Spurs in Oklahoma City. We could see some, other teams possibly make a push, but for the most part, those teams look like the most dominant when it comes to the West. But that's all I got today. Appreciate you guys. If you stuck around this long, like, subscribe, follow, all of that. Tell me what you guys thought about the performance by the New York Knicks against the Utah Jazz, and tell me what you think that the Knicks need to continue to work on. And these are things that I will bring up, and we can break them down and get into them as well. But super excited. I will be back for a pregame show, of course. Knicks versus the Pacers on Friday, March 13th, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, so 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. But appreciate you guys, as always. And before we go, let's go Knicks.